Hello everyone, and welcome back to the jungles of the Fruitlies tribe. And I am just so blown away by how adorable this termite mound is. I know that's probably a really weird thing to think, but I mean, just look at how cute. I can get right up close and personal with these little critters. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how cool this would be with this kind of animation effect on different items? Like, what if one day we could just have like a peaceful little plant, like a new plant, where ferns were waving around in the air off of different parts of this? And of course, I would immediately think of new plants. Or what if you could have water or even lava coming out from these, just like you see the termites kind of like swirling around? How cool would it be if you could have the ice islands have little tiny volcanic eruptions where these little itty bitty pieces would pop up and it would be like warm lava that would warm up tiles within like 3 tiles around it? That would be so cool. But all right, so sorry, got a little bit excited over those termites there. Welcome back to the Fruitlies jungle, everyone, and welcome back to the story that continues to evolve with banana, kiwi, kumquat, and coconut in this alternative universe, which is thus far immensely more peaceful and filled with far more legends and bits of lore than we have had in our stream version of these nichelings' life. And I have to say, I'm very much looking forward to hopefully being able to share more of the other alternative universe with all of you this weekend in a stream. So we'll have to keep our eyes open and see if we're able to make that happen or not. But until then, I cannot wait to continue their lives and see how different Kiwi, Coconut, and Kumquat will have their world here compared to the world that we will have together in our stream area. And already it's quite different because Kumquat, for one, is still alive. And he is actually quite happy under the sheltered tree, the tree of shelter, and beginning to think that he would love to see the tribe really reborn. He wants to start seeing more nichelings covering the island, hopefully ones born with 2 functional bat wings who can fly across the jungles once more and reclaim their home. So he has really begun to turn his mind towards the idea of having children, of having a legacy, and of perhaps having a very firmly established Fruitlies tribe that can chase away the outsiders like Kira, who he just has never really approved very much of. So, yes, Kumquat is thinking about romance, but I don't think either of the girls are quite there yet. And since they have much longer lives, we are no longer in a frantic race for breeding as soon as our nichelings become adults, which is kind of nice. We get to spend a little bit of time with each of them as who they are before we start thinking about all of the babies that they can have, which the babies are really fun. But it is just really nice to give them a little bit of time to figure out who they are, too. And Coconut is really figuring out that she just feels, even though the shadows can be full of some frightening areas, she just feels so called into the deeper jungle that this is just her home. She knows it in her heart. She was being raised as a albino nicheling to really watch over the heart of the jungle, specifically this little plot right there, where hopefully the Moon Mother would be reborn into this tribe one day. And we've never met the Moon Mother before, so this is not like having Yuki or Lala or Tata or any of our other gods that we have in our other niche stories reborn. This is a nicheling who we have never met before, but had belonged to the Fruitlings tribal lore for absolute generations, before these trees were even planted in the ground by the ancient founders of the Fruitlies tribe. So she just feels very called. Coconut can't quite explain it. She is not the Moon Mother, although everyone was very excited about her albino patterning. But she just really feels that she has to watch over the spring, that it is her duty. And I think once she manages to get to the heart of the island, she will begin to feel less anxious. She won't be nearly as frantic as she has been so far. So let's go ahead and see if we can let her get in there. Oh my gosh! Kiwi, what have you gone and found? Okay, before we can do that, Kiwi is going to splash through the water, making all manner of noise. We can offer the peaceful bear nesting material. What is this? Kiwi, you are such a little adventurer, and you can offer these bears nesting material? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to work on that for sure. Meanwhile, Coconut is going to come up because she just really wants to get closer to the heart of the island. Banane is going to continue to gather food and just try to do a little bit of scouting just to make sure that things are safe for the orphans that she has kind of adopted in her heart. And I think that Kira is just kind of like a lazy nicheling. He's just going to continue to gather up the fruit that he has there. And Kumquat is going to continue to yank the nuts. This is his nut, not yours, you little crabbit. He's going to continue to yank those nuts away from the crabbit. But let's see what's going on here. Kiwi, what on earth have you managed to do this time? Oh, it's wiggling away! No, we don't want to take it away. Kiwi, offer it some nesting material. Okay, so we just gave the peaceful bear, who has a ton of attack. He can also fish. He's good at defense, so he'd be very impossible to attack. We just gave him some nesting material. And I think that Kiwi just made a new friend. Oh my goodness. I feel like this would have Coconut practically fainting in not horror, but perhaps like this is just too much. She is a very anxious nicheling after all. She went through so much losing her tribe so young. So we're gonna let her just kind of jump this way. Oh, she found a permanent nest. Yes! Fantastic! Maybe Kumquat will be able to convince her of romantic ways after all. And I think Coconut would think about having children once she can calm down a little bit more, once she can feel like she is safe within the jungle of her home, because she would want the lore that she was raised with, the legends of the Fruitlies tribe, to live on. And I think as Banane spends a lot of time, this time with Coconut, trying to help calm her, trying to help her to not be afraid of every single moving blade of grass. Banane just has a very nurturing spirit in all her lives, I think, through all the universes. And she will look after the nicheling who clearly needs it the most, just out of the goodness of her heart. And in this case, it's Coconut and her anxiety and her fear about what life could be like and what life is. So I think Banane is going to spend a little bit of extra time with her, just helping to kind of survey the area, make sure that everything's safe, you don't need to worry, and getting her in here to the heart of the entire jungle, where finally Coconut will be able to begin to let go of her deep-held anxieties. And then, of course, we have Kira, who is just kind of the wanderer who doesn't really have a right to be here and is just quite happy to stuff himself silly on fruit that increasingly Kumquat feels should belong to his tribe only, including those nuts. His tribe. Did you hear me? His tribe, little crabbit. Not your tribe. I don't see any clicky-clack tribe around here. Not you. Not you. Kumquat. Not you. Kumquat. There we go. All right. Told that crabbit what for. All right, let's see what Kiwi does with her new friend. Hello, friend. I think that she would be absolutely delighted to have this friend, and is going to spend some time jumping around exploring the depths of the forest with her new bear friend. And meanwhile, I do feel that Banane is going to continue. Okay. So far safe. So far still safe. To help Coconut to come over here. There we go. And Coconut has finally... Oop, oop, oop. Oh! It's a green termite mound! Interesting. We'll have to look at that one in just a second. But Coconut has now made it safely over to the sacred springs where she just recalls as a very young child being told this was the spot she had to watch over, and she doesn't know why. But I think when she clears the grass away and just knows that, ah, good, okay, this spot's safe, I think that she'll finally be able to relax, and maybe that will give Kumquat the excuse to go ahead, grab a nut or two, grab some fruit, and he's going to go and perhaps see if he can make his way over to Coconut and spend some time trying to convince her about the importance of adding to the tribe, and maybe even some real romance while they're at it. And again, Kira, I think he just sits here. Is this like infinite fruit? Is this tree broken and we can just... This is truly... I think that this tree is broken and we're just getting infinite fruit from it, perhaps. And thus, I think that this is truly the island of the Fruitlies. If this tree is broken and we can just get infinite fruit from it, that's kind of ridiculous, kind of amazing. And I'm just going to take it as a bug that is not a bug. It's a feature of the wonderful Fruitlies Island. Oh, that's so cool. All right, are you going to do anything, buddy? Huh. Interesting. All right, we're good there. Yeah, Kira is just getting like one fruit at a time, but he is getting there. And we'll have Kumquat go ahead. He gathered the last of the fruits. He might grab a shell or two just to have some pretty offerings. And he is going to begin to wiggle up to Coconut. And just a quick reminder, Coconut also said from their lore that they absolutely should not take the fruit from the carnivorous plants, because if you take from the plant, it will take from you. After all, we have 2 of these plants open now because they're in their safe state. If we pick all of the fruit, it will regrow, and it could possibly regrow into a carnivorous plant. So the idea behind that is that the lore of the Fruitlies, which Coconut was taught at a young age, perhaps a little too sternly because she seems more terrified than logical about this little fact, is that you never take from the fruit unless you wish to be taken from. So unless you wish to be eaten by the jungle, you do not take from these fruits. You respect them with something akin to fear and wariness more than anything. They're not friends, they're not something that you worship, they're not something that you overly fear, but it's kind of like keeping an eye on a really dangerous animal that you know in the area. Alright, let's see. And this is definitely not a dangerous animal. I think that Kiwi is just having some fun. I think that she's just having a little chat with her new friend Bear. Berry, maybe. What would she call him? Maybe Twigs. Twig? Yeah, I think she would just call this guy Twig because she gave him a bunch of twigs and he's under a tree. And he seems to like to play with the twigs. I wonder what they do. Interesting. Alright, and Coconut. There we are. Coconut, arriving at the island in the heart of the jungle, finally will find a sense of peace. Wonderful. I think that Banana could tell the difference almost immediately and is quite reassured and perhaps now ready to think herself about what kind of life she might want to have here on this island. Actually, could she and Kumquat have some children? They could! Oh my gosh! Those might make really pretty babies. I think that Kumquat might stroll up and be quite the handsome mate to all of our females all of a sudden. So we better get him up here. See what he thinks. Oh dear, it's gonna be very hot for everybody again. Alright, and I think Kiwi, since Twig isn't doing much, would get bored pretty quickly. Oh, and hey, look at that! She found a permanent nest. Nice! It is pretty close to the heart of the jungle, actually, so I think that that would be very appealing to Coconut, who is now surrounded, by the way, by Razorina. Not sure how I feel about that. We can go ahead and let her kind of, like, bat at them. She's going to be a little bolder now that she has finally made it to the heart of the jungle. And Banana will gather from some of those berries. Oh my gosh, I think they are broken. And Kira is just gonna stuff himself silly on the Fruitlies, blessed fruit trees, I guess. Also, Kumquat is quite irritated at this Crabbit, but he has some ladies to go impress. So he's gonna grab There we go. We're going to go ahead and grab that clamshell. He's going to make a little bit of noise, possibly because he's trying to sort of just, you know, let his presence be announced to the ladies that he hopes to go approach now as an adult and point out that it is in their best interest to perhaps think about having children and a legacy of their own. And I think that he's actually quite excited about that. He sees the plants. He has heard Coconut restore some of the lore of their past life. And I think he's just so excited about the idea of having children to watch after, of being able to watch the tribe grow. Perhaps less about romance, but definitely quite appealing if you are looking for... appealing, sorry. Still can't get over all the banana puns. But perhaps very appealing if you are trying to look for someone who truly has the good of the entire Fruitly tribe, at least, in mind. I don't think that he would include Kira in that for sure. Alright, let's see. Okay, ladies. That sounds like danger. That is danger. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have a Barina. We have the peaceful bear. Oh my gosh. Stay there, Coconut. I think you are safe on that side. So is Kiwi on that side. Kumquat, I think he would definitely jump up and do battle. I don't think Kira would. I think Kira is a little bit of a coward when it comes to those things. But I do think Kumquat would come up here and let out a loud yell because he is not going to allow this Barina to make their jungles too dangerous. But Nene wouldn't even hesitate. She would dive forward. Let's see. Yeah, she would dive forward immediately to try to defend the area. And then she might jump away. Coconut, ironically, is actually very strong. So I think that she would jump over. Because now that she has been to the heart of the jungle, she feels that she would want to protect it. Oh, this is not good. We are not very strong whatsoever. But Banana would not turn away from trying to defend everyone. Kiwi, I think, is actually tangled up in all of this grass. I don't think she's going to be able to help us. I think that she's going to jump, like try to jump and almost get nipped by one of these Razorina. So we'll try to catch it. Oh my gosh. Kira, I think, would just cower down here and stuff himself with fruit. Because that's what he does. Okay. Alright, Banana. You're not allowed to have something dramatic happen to you. The Barina ran off! Oh my gosh. The Barina ran away with its baby. And now it's poisoned. Wow. Wow. Alright, Kumquat, I think, would jump up here and frantically want to make sure that they are both okay. And I think that they would realize that there are dangers here. And that perhaps it wouldn't be good to think about growing the tribe. And I think that both of these two particular ladies would be somewhat impressed with Kumquat's display of determination. He didn't hesitate once he realized what was going on. He wasn't able to land a single blow, but clearly it was his intentions that mattered the most. So let's go ahead and see if I was going to have these guys have babies. Well, normal blood clotting would be awesome, but that's many generations away. Oh my gosh. We also want to see, I think Coconut would definitely, maybe normal eyesight? The thing is, if they're gonna have the possibility of having bat head, I don't know if we need, like, that would really increase hearing. Maybe something to increase hearing? Let's see. What does it take to get big ears? Hot climate. I would consider the jungle kind of a hot climate, but I know it won't be. There's also sticky tongue, bat head, bird beak. Alright, Coconut. Then I would possibly give to Coconut white fur, maybe? Maybe. I'm kind of hoping she'll have an albino child. Maybe one normal eyesight. But I would give to you, with your fantastic high fertility, perhaps a little bit more attack if I could. But unfortunately, we have not attacked enough. So I actually think I'm going to hold off on giving any mutations as well. And for Kumquat, again, it comes down to the eyesight. I think I gave, yeah, normal eyesight there. We'll go ahead. I mean, if they're gonna be bats, I don't really feel like they need normal eyesight is the thing. Let's just go ahead and see what they would have right now. So I think that Coconut would agree with Kumquat's thoughts of furthering the future of the tribe. So would Banana, even though they all have pretty low fertility. Well, he has a pretty good fertility. That was really lucky on Coconut's part, honestly. But she, I think, would want to have a baby in the center nest here. I think that this would get Kiwi quite interested in what the heck is going on. Perhaps not with a child just yet, but I think she'd be very excited about the news of the tribe growing. And I think Banana is quite content with potentially... with... Look at those ears! It's another bat orphan! You are kidding me! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! She's so heavily pregnant. We're going to be pregnant for 3 days, so we can actually try to catch that baby. I think she would let out a cry to let Kumquat know. There's a little baby! Oh, I can hardly even see him. Can we get him? Oh my gosh, she would let out a cry to let him know that there is another lost orphan. I think that would make Kumquat so ridiculously excited he wouldn't even know what to do. Oh my gosh. Kira, meanwhile... Oh, now Kira and the Crabbit are having a battle. Oh my gosh. Did we just manage to get... We got Stinky Tail! Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let Kira have Stinky Tail. Because that seems very fitting somehow. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I should give the other Stinky Tail too. Oh my goodness. What do you have, Coconut? She has normal tail. I actually think Stinky Tail would be kind of amazing. So I'm gonna give her Stinky Tail. Unless she has... Well, she has female Peacock Tail. That's even more amazing. We'll have to wait and see. And then finally... So that we don't lose track of the little orphan, I'm going to go ahead and we are going to have Kiwi move over. And alright guys, so there is a Barina who has been stung by Banana's toxic tail, and there is a orphan bat running around in the jungle, part of Kumquat's long-lost tribe. We need to go and find that little one. This is now his life's mission, and I cannot wait to see where that will take us. And I'm also quite curious to see if Twig ever comes back, the big friendly bear, and what Kiwi's friend might have to offer if so. So, alright, do please leave a like to toss a fruit out to try to tempt the orphan to come to us, my friends. And if you would like to join us for this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time when we dive into the jungle in search of that little orphan. Bye-bye!